Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Stephen Gilligan, and I am here in beautiful, amazing St. Petersburg, Russia. We're here in the middle of a 15-day generative coaching certification, and we have this opportunity to do just a little exploration of one of the key parts of generative change work, namely something that we call the platform of three positive connections. And to explore this with me, we have the pleasure of introducing Oksana Connor, who is with her husband Richard, the sponsors of this workshop and the developers of IEGC Russia. So we've been coming here, to this room for how long?
I guess it's seventh day, right?
No, I mean seventh year.
Seventh year.
Yeah. And just to show you that generative change can happen, when I first met Oksana, you didn't speak a word of English.
Yeah, this is kind of generative learning process for me, and that it still is going on, and I guess it will be going on forever.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to reciprocate and be able to speak conversational Russian.
With my Russian, Siberian, English accent.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that we emphasize as sort of the core model in generative change, first, it's the work is about how to be able to support, develop in ourselves and other people, in teams and communities, sustainable creative change. This challenge of sustainable creative change is probably greater than it ever was because of the fast-paced times that we live in, the fact that we are at a time where we can no longer stay separate. So every voice, every culture, every part of the world, because of travel and social media, is closer and closer to each other. And that produces bigger and bigger challenges to continue to grow and change. So that's what we're doing in the generative change work. We have a general sense that there's a method to the madness, if you will, that there are these different steps that we can identify, that we can coach, that people can learn, so that these challenges of change can be met skillfully in a way that, again, has sustainability. So the 6 steps basically is we need to find first something we call a coach field. We need to empty out, get out of our individual binds, our limited perspectives, and make this connection with something bigger than we are. From there, we can begin to step in a fresh, open way into the world with a basic question or a simple goal or a simple intention. Those are the sort of what we call the twin towers of the beginning of generative change, is to get into this open space connected to yourself and something bigger than yourself, and then connect in some simple, succinct, resonant way to what your intention is. To then be able to start working in taking that intention and moving it into the world so that we can unfold a solution over time, in real time, in a real space. We have this challenge, the third step of what we call a generative state. So a generative field is sort of opening to some place of connection to everything. A generative state is, how do I organize myself or my team into some sort of creative pattern, so as I move through the world looking to create this positive outcome, that I can do so in this high level, high quality state of consciousness. So the prototype for what we call this generative state is something we call the 3 positive connections. And if I were to show that as a simple, what we call somatic movement, we say the first connection is, this is what I want. And maybe even more importantly, this is my commitment in terms of what I want to bring into the world. Then the second connection is, I can't just be focused on trying to make something happen in the world, because I'd lose my balance, I'd lose my center, but I need to balance this against something we call the center, something deeper than the intellect, deeper than the ego, deeper than your worry, and we call that the mind-body center. And so the second positive connection is I feel this calming, stabilizing, resonant connection to this deep core of myself. But we're still not there in a place where we can be able to make something happen in a big way. We say the third positive connection is to what we call resources. So we say, in isolation, no single part of the system can be able to create big sustainable change. It's only when that part of the system realizes, I'm part of a network, I'm part of a bigger community, there are people, there are places, there are parts of my relationship that really support me and bring to me the courage, the calmness, the models, the examples, the support that I need in order to make something happen big in my life. So boom, boom, boom. And what I'd like to do with Oksana's consent and participation is just give you a simple example of a little abbreviated example about what that might actually look like in a coaching conversation. So, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to go through a sort of accelerated version of the first 2 steps. And in actuality, we'd be taking a little bit more time with somebody fresh. I would say, let's start, Oksana, with finding the sense of some connection within ourselves and some way of connecting through ourselves to some openness, confidence, connection to the larger world. And we usually say, do you have some nice ways of doing that when you need to find a good connection with yourself? Or are there favorite ways that you have?
I'm usually shifting my attention down to my belly. And
so maybe we can just slow down. Say, let's follow that, shifting the attention down to the belly.
And I'm starting to notice my breathing more.
Your breathing starts to shift a little bit more deeply. Great. Let's just tune to that breathing changing. So I let my awareness go down into my belly. I just notice how my breathing can become fuller. And any visual images or places?
I'm walking on the beach.
Walking on the beach.
In the Black Sea.
The Black Sea, where you live.
With my husband and my dogs.
Super. So, your husband and your dogs. So just breathe that and notice what that allows you to feel, what sort of shifts that allows for you inside. And when you're ready, take a breath and Come on back out. Great. And does that create some shift in your state?
Yes, immediately I just see everything more bright and
more bright. Colors get more bright.
yeah. And it's like 3D dimensions.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So from there, we say now we've got a place for a deeper connection to our creativity, to our imagination. We have greater calm, a greater focus. So, what if there's one thing that you would sort of select out as a positive goal? You say, well, you know what? What's really an important goal for me right now, or an important challenge, or something I'd really like to be able to do? What might that be that would be helpful to connect with here?
I really would like to create an online course.
Online course in what?
And generative parenting.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
And the challenge is that I have many other things to do, so
Yeah.
I should organize my attention to that.
Yeah. And so I just call attention to the fact that Oksana just did something that's very characteristic. As soon as she starts focusing on her positive goal, there's an implicit but. You know, I really have this dream or this goal of creating this online generative parent, but I get distracted or I do other stuff. And so that's something that we need to do some sort of connection so that our concentration, our commitment is really much deeper when we tune into that goal, so that we can see it through to its positive outcome. One thing that we do in the work is we would look at any of the interference and see how we might bring that in. We're not going to focus on that right now. All things being equal, it's preferable to say, how can we really deepen our sense of connection to the goal, to the vision, to ourselves, so that we can do it in a calm, measured, powerful way, and to stay really sort of open to the fact that we got lots of resources that we can call upon. So that's what we mean by the 3 positive connections. So what I'm going to suggest and invite you to do is we'll just do this as a slow 3-part statement. And the 3-part statement is, what I really want to create in my life is, and then I'll ask you as you say it verbally to find this sort of somatic sense of commitment or connection to that. Then the second statement is, in order to do that, I first feel this deeper core connection to myself, and you feel, where is that? Where's that place of wisdom, of strength, of passion? And then the third statement is some of the resources that I might call upon are, and you just see what comes to you and how you bring those into your creative state. Make sense?
Yeah.
Great.
It's really interesting.
Great. So maybe you come back to the Black Sea or to that sense of underlying center. And then when you're ready to step into your performance state, say, what I really want to commit to is.
what I really want to commit is to create online course about generative parenting.
Maybe say that again. Really step into it, feel resonant.
What I really would like to create is an online course. It's online course, the generative parenting.
Great. And the second statement, to do that, I bring my awareness to my center, to my core.
To do that, I bring my awareness to my center, to my core.
Good. Relax your shoulders. Relax your head, forehead. Feel that deeper, simple power. Breathe with it. Feel connection, center. To do this, to start this, to always return to a base for resilience. I connect to my center.
To do that, I connect to my center.
And then the third part is I open to some resources that I know can support me, cheer me on, give me protection, give me encouragement.
And I invite resources to support me in this goal.
If there was one or two that you would verbally make note of.
It's a memory, the memory when we were in Paris. On the Eiffel Tower.
Awesome. And as you feel that resource, see how your breath and your mind can connect to that resource and allow it to feed your intention to really support this path of creating generative coaching, generative parenting online course. We use these connections as a way to more deeply join our creative, positive path. And then you might just do that a couple of times, and this is something that we would encourage people to be doing as a daily practice. Intention, fierce.
I really would like to create this online course,
Fierce.
generative parenting.
That's good. Center. Resource.
Now it's different resource.
Sorry?
It's a different resource came.
Great. Great. Which is probably more common than not. So one more time. And I mentioned the word fierce because shift a little bit in terms of balance, a little bit too soft. We're sort of coaching. Do you have the softness, the fierceness, the playfulness?
I really would like to create
There you go.
this online course.
So follow that.
I really would like to bring this into the world. Yeah, I really do. I just feel this.
I feel that. And she connect, add your center. There you go, sister.
And I open resources for that. And another resource just came. I really would like to create this course.
Resource. And then just feel, when you feel all three of those connections, and we're just looking to see how a person can think clearly, act decisively, with those connections as the underlying platform. And then just to finish this brief piece, any sense of a self-commitment, a promise, a vow? In terms of your journey?
Yeah. I have this commitment. And I already have one first step to do that.
Good. Okay, so, okay, if we stop there?
Sure.
So, this is just a little chunk of a larger coaching process, but we think it's one of the unique and most helpful parts of this coaching generativity or coaching sustainable creativity, that the underlying state, the performance state that you're in, really is the main driver of what you think, what you feel, what's possible for you. And so we really focus on developing some sort of sustainable, simple, positive underlying platform that really can help a person achieve their dreams. So that's our simple lesson for today. And from beautiful St. Petersburg, thank you for listening. I hope this is helpful for you and all the communities that you operate in. And again, Oksana,
thank you very much.
Thanks so
it's
much.
Great support for me. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Who's that heckler in the front there?
This is one of my main
yeah, he's
resources.
the main resources. That's right. California boy.
Seriously, it's
okay, so obviously that wasn't anything new, but that's the kind of the simple thing that we're carrying. So